Hello, I am Devin, the Draconic Elf. Today I thought it'd be fun to do, how is the rest of our year going to look for the Zodiac Signs? So I'm going to do it in groups of elementals, so air, water, fire, and earth. I'm going to have timestamps down below in the description. Hopefully I can get them to actually show up on the video properly. So we're going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot and the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck today, as you can see here. And I'm going to be doing what is the rest of our year going to look like. So, okay, so how this is going to work is I'm going to pull an animal card, example, gazelle, and then I'm going to pull a tarot card, example, 10 of Wands, and then it's going to be animal energy for the rest of this year, and then tarot for the rest of this year, and then I'm going to interpret them and put them together and mishmash them. You know how card readings work, and if you don't, I didn't explain it well, but that's not what this is for. So let's start with air signs. So Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. What is going to be, what is the theme for the rest of this year for Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini? Ooh. So, we have the buffalo. Now, the buffalo usually entails sacredness and, honor and things like that. Also, abundance. So, that's the animalistic energy. Now, let us find more detailed tarot energy. Ooh, the Lovers. It's upright for me, so it's going to be upright for you. So, we have the Lovers and Buffalo. Buffalo and the Lovers, this is giving me more of good vibes. So, Lovers being upright usually is, abundance, a partnership, duality, and continuation of, good things. Could be romantic endeavor, could also just be, life in general. And since this is more of a general for the rest of the year, I'm going to go with, positivity and love in life, not necessarily romantic. Now, if it resonates for you in a romantic sense, it resonates for you in a romantic sense. Amazing for you. So, buffalo being, sacredness, trust, abundance, and, so the buffalo meaning sacredness. Can the cats stop? Also, my legs are going numb. This is not actually a good idea. I thought it would be. With the buffalo meaning sacredness, trust, and abundance, and the Lovers meaning unity, love, and, duality and everything like that. For Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini, the air signs, it feels as though the rest of this year is going to be filled with good things. Positivity, love, abundance, duality. So a project might be going forward in a great way. You might have a partnership of any kind, a relationship of any kind, not just romantic. Anything I say that is regarding a relationship is never limited to just romantic. When I say relationship, I mean a friendship, a partnership, a business partnership kind of thing, friendship, parenthood, relationships of any sort of kind. It is never purely love when I personally say relationship. So this is very much so a good thing going forward. The rest of this year might be a little rough, but it's going to overall be very good, positive, energetically, duality of you being able to maybe get rid of some of your bullshit that you're going through and have that more connectivity with your shadow self and your inner child. The abundance, the sacredness, your body is sacred, your mind is sacred. That duality that you're going to have and experience with your inner self, your shadow self, just overall yourself, and possibly others, and possibly like a project to where it's you and the project that's the relationship. This is going to bring a lot of abundance, a lot of clarity, and a lot of love for the rest of this year. Okay, I do want to apologize for my fellow air signs because I know I didn't really go into depth with that reading. The cats were distracting me. They were trying to be little shits. They were fighting and everything, so kind of got distracted and forgot exactly where I was with that. I apologize, but hopefully that still was good and like resonated and was nice. If you like this, please subscribe and like the video, because I am going to go forward and do these a little more so and a little more frequent on a schedule kind of basis. Okie dokie, so let us do the earth signs. Capricorn, Venus, and Taurus. How is the rest of your year going to look? What is the animalistic energy of the rest of your year for earth signs going to look like? Oh, fabulous, wonderful owl. And then what is going to be more of an elaborate explanation? Ooh. Upright for me, upright for you. Yeah. So, with the owl usually meaning, you know, wisdom, hunting, being a predator, going after what you're searching for. And then the Four of Wands. I need my tarot book because I don't actually know what that means off the top of my head. With the owl mostly representing wisdom, predatory, hunting down, doing what you need to do and hunting it down and getting it done correctly. And then the Four of Wands being more of like celebratory. You did it, hard work, celebration after hard work, calming down, relaxation, having that homecoming, that celebration with your family and your community and your home. For earth signs, again, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So with these cards for the earth signs, this is more so giving me the vibe of you've done what you need to do, you've done all your hard work, you went through, you did and you did and you did, and you've achieved. You hunted down what you needed to hunt, and now you have time for relaxation. So for the rest of this year, you can have that like celebratory evening of relaxation, doing things that help you relax, and maybe also possibly, that is all the same word. I like literally right now, what the fuck is my hair doing? Oh, okay. And there is a possibility that this is a call to action in the sense of you are needing to use your wisdom and needing to go forth and hunt down the things that you are passionate about in order to have that realization that you so desire. Go away. I'm doing things, my child. You can't come up on my table that's on my lap. No. I love you. I'm so sorry, but no. So this is either a call to action in order for you to hunt down the things you're passionate about and do what you need to do and what you want to do in order to have that relaxation and the time to have that celebratory event with your friends and family and community. Or this is saying that you have already finished everything you needed to finish and now you are at a point that you can relax, that you can take a breather. And even if you are, this is more of a call to action and you are being told to like do what you need to do and you know how to, you have the wisdom to do it, there is still times where you can take a break while doing the things that you're doing and achieving and going forth to do. Oh my god, I hate my hair right now. So regardless if this is a call to action or a call for rest, there should always be rest. Even if you are doing things and this is a call to action, you should still take a rest. Maybe this is a call for you to take a break on the action that you've taken. Now, if you haven't taken any action, this is just point blank a call to action, a call for you to know that you have the wisdom and the power to do what you need to do. You are an owl, you can hunt down what you want to hunt down, and you, like, what your goal is right now your prey. That right now, what you are going towards and hunting is basically your prey. Like, you have the knowledge, you have the ability, and you have the ambition and passion to do what you need to do and do what you want to do. So right now, your goal is your prey, and you need to hunt that down, and you will find it, and you can do it. And it's fine, and then once you get to do it, or once you get to a point where you feel like you can stop, you can take that break, you can take that restoration, you can relax, and reflect on what you did, and be happy that you got to a point. There's always times for rest, and rest often is necessary in order to continue the hunt, in order to continue doing what you want and doing what you need. Sorry if the camera moved a little bit. I bumped it and it got all weird and I had to redo it, so I don't know if it looks too off and it's bothering you. I do just want to let you know you're not like illusionating. It did move, also I don't think that's a word. I digress. So Let us do water signs. So Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. What animalistic energy is for the rest of this year for water signs? Ooh, fire ant. Fire ant. And then, what is a more detailed exclamation for the water signs for the rest of this year? Ooh, what is that? The Fool. Well, that was just ASMR. Sorry. Oopsie oopsies. The Fool. So, the fire ant card is a little difficult for me to read because I am actually allergic to ants. Fire ants is one of the worst ones. If I get bit by a fire ant, I usually need to go to the hospital. So I have a complicated personal relationship with fire ants and ants in general. So this card, I will completely and totally admit, I have a little difficulty reading because of personal gripes. I'm allergic to them. But let me try to disconnect a little bit here. So, fire ants. Ants usually live in colonies. So, you know, colonists, no. But because fires live in colonies, I would say ants live in colonies. Fire usually represents like passion and action and like tarot senses. Usually wands are fire. So ants usually live in colonies and they usually, you know, work together, and they're also super strong. Like they can lift like, 4 times their weight or something like that? They're strong little tiny bugs that could kill me. Besides that point, they are culinary animals and, you know, they work together. They're very armalistic. They're like an army, but the way I'm trying to say this just is not portraying correctly. But I digress. So, ants, very much so, colonies, being together, working together, teamwork, and then also being really strong and being able to like lift your own weight and being able to do your teamwork the correct way you need to do your teamwork and following along with other people and like following the leader in a sense, but also being able to, you know, do your own work and lift your own self up. And then the fire aspect of this specific fire ant, I would say fire is, you know, mostly about passion and action in like the tarot sense, which wands are connected to like the fire element. So in this case, I would say, you know, passionately, action forward, going, working together. So in this case, I would say, you know, passionately going, doing action, working together, being able to lift your own weight, but someone being like somewhat of a leader, but like loose term. Maybe you are the leader or someone else is the leader in some sort of like project. But then the Fool comes in here. And the Fool card, obviously, meaning like going out blind, not really knowing what the hell you're doing, just kind of being a fool and going out there and being innocent to the world, ignorant slightly, not knowing what the hell is going on. So these two cards very much so are kind of very polar opposites to a degree. So with that, because these two cards are very polar opposites, this is very complicated, obviously. It feels as though for water signs, you're kind of dealing with wanting to do the teamwork, wanting to like lift your own weight, wanting to do everything that you know that you can do and you're passionate about and you're strong enough to, but there's like a little tiny bit of you not fully understanding the grand scheme of things and the grand scope of everything, to where you're kind of in a like catch-22, as people say, where you are being able to understand that you are strong. You can see that you're strong. You can see that you can lift your own weight and that you can do the job and the passion and the project, and you can add things to either the relationship or the project or whatever it is. You see that, but you are also just kind of being ignorant, unfortunately, to certain things and thinking things are okay. And if this is a relationship, I'm getting the vibe of like, you'll feel like, I contribute a lot, I can do a lot, I am a lot, but you are missing out on a couple things where it's like, yes, you are contributing, and yes, you are doing, like, good. However, the person, like, how the other person feels also matters. So just because you feel, I contribute a lot, I do this, I do that, I'm amazing, I help this, and I help that, you're missing out on the main point being that, like, there's another person involved, and it's not all you. And I'm not trying to say you're being selfish. It's more of just you're turning a blind eye to what another person is experiencing. And to you, you're like, oh, this relationship is fine. But to this other person, they don't feel that it's okay. They're like, no, there's things that are wrong. And you're kind of pushing it away like, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. You're just being stupid or something. But if it isn't that necessarily, and it is just more of a passion project, or just a project in general, but because fire's here, more likely a passion project, this is also a thing of, like, you know that you can do it, but you're also missing a couple elements, and you're not recognizing what's there and what all you need to actually do. Like, maybe you're taking on too much and you need to have that collaborative effort, you need someone else to come on to your, like, team and help you, but more or less, in short summarize of a sentence for water signs, again, Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, you're kind of, for the rest of this year, going through a thing where you want to do X, Y, and Z, but you don't really understand the A, B, and C in order to finish the full alphabet together, you know? So, I would just say, stop and reflect for a little bit. That might help. If this is resonating and this is what you feel is happening to you, either with a relationship or, a project of your own, very much so could be, a problem that you're just kind of turning a blind eye and pretending everything's fine when it's not. So last, but certainly not least, the fire signs. So, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. What is animalistic energy for the rest of this year for the fire signs? Ooh, butterfly, and also like 4 other cards, but we're just gonna go with butterfly. Because that is what was calling to me. Okay. Butterfly. Now, let us see what tarot, for a little more of a detail of the rest of the year ahead for the fire signs. Ooh, what is that? The Magician! A lot of major arcana for this, except the one. So, a lot of these readings are like longer term because of the major arcana. So, the Magician. That's a little crooked. There we go. Now it's more centered. Yay! Also, if I do keep looking over there, it's because that's where my monitor for my cards are. So if I do this, it's just because I'm making sure things are in focus. And look, okay, so these 2 cards. So, butterflies. So, for fire signs, butterflies. Usually, metamorphosis, cocoons, caterpillar, into a pretty butterfly, So, butterfly, usually, metamorphosis. So, a change. And then the Magician, usually kind of meaning like all-encompassing and knowing everything, but let's do a double check. We have willpower, desire, creation, power, manifestation, resourcefulness, inspired action. As above, so below. Mental is physical, the origin of magic. So, also, I'm sorry if all through this you keep hearing me, like, do this. I talk a lot with my hands. I've tried not to, shockingly. I can't really not. So I keep probably bumping the mic. And also if I look down, it's because I'm making sure the mic's okay. So, with the butterfly, mostly kind of, oh my god, the hair, why do you hate me? Okay. So, with the butterfly, usually going towards, like, the metamorphosis, the change, and more kind of a, like, death card. Kind of like rebirth, death and rebirth. But with the butterfly, usually it's not necessarily death. It's a death of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. But usually it's not, like a death. But metamorphosis, change, evolve, evolution. And then magician, meaning, you know, creation, the like embodiment of like magic itself, as above, so below, and all that stuff. This is very much so encompassing kind of everything. Like I was saying earlier, this is kind of like all encompassing card in my brain. So, butterfly being metamorphosis and change, magician meaning, you know, magic as above, so below, manifestation, creation, and things like that. It feels as though maybe if you are a practitioner, it feels as though that if you are a practitioner, a witch, a pagan, polytheist, whatever, if you practice in some sort of way, maybe your practice is going to go through a metamorph. It's going to change a little bit. It's going to become something new. But if you are not necessarily someone that practices, but you are still like spiritual and you don't necessarily do any kind of practice per se, it could just mean in general, like a project, relationship, anything is going to change for you. It's not necessarily a tower moment. I'm not getting like scary change of like, oh no, inevitable, like, oh no, bad things. I'm getting more of like a good kind of change, like happiness, positivity, from like a little baby into like an adult kind of thing. Like a butterfly, it's a caterpillar, which is a tiny little inchy wormy kind of thing. It's not a worm, it's a caterpillar. It's very different. But it's a small little bug insect that turns into something beautiful with like wings that can fly and soar and also collect and distribute pollen. That's the word I was looking for. Collect and distribute pollen. They are also pollinators. They also have a really weird long fucking tongue thing. I digress. So with this, it's kind of more of like a good thing, an evolution of good, a positivity of good. You're going to be like collecting things and turning into something new and then spreading that around. It's very much so positivity and not necessarily like, ugh, gross, blah, kind of thing. It's very much a good thing. With this especially being like creation, because that made sense. Creativity, manifestation, as above, so below, you know, equality to a degree in my brain also, and magic and like everything like that. It also is like, obviously, I really wish I could like, there we go. Obviously, it has all of the elements in here, obviously. The magician has, you know, the sword, the pentacles, the cups, the wand, which is fire, earth, water, and air. It's everything all together. It's all encompassing. So it's very much so like, sure, yeah, your life is going to change, but it's going to be for the better. It's not really going to be like a hardship, like, oh no, tower moment kind of thing, which granted, tower's my favorite card. So I really understand why people are like, oh no, a tower moment. Like, I get it to a degree. It's very scary sometimes, but I don't understand the extreme, like, dreaded fear over it, personally. I get where people are coming from, but I don't experience that. It's one of my favorite cards. I love change. I love everything changing and having things tear down and then rebuild. I love that. But this is more of a positivity, but a tower moment. But in a positive light. So, I know that sounds weird, because, like, tower usually isn't necessarily, like, positivity. But it does give me more of a vibe of change that is going to happen. That is, obviously, inevitable. A lot of change is. But it's, like, a good thing. It's, like, going to happen. It's going to change your whole entire life. Every aspect of your life. But it's a good thing. And it's been slow. It's not going to be, like, boom, bam, change. It's going to be a slow but sure change, an evolution, a metamorphosis, which takes a very long time. They become a little caterpillar, they birth out their little larvae, whatever it's called. I'm pretty sure it's a larva, whatever. They're little caterpillars. Butterflies are little caterpillars that eat all they need, and then they turn into a little cocoon or chrysalis, and then, you know, slowly but surely over time, they change and evolve and turn into a beautiful little butterfly. So, that's basically what's going to happen. Good things are going to happen. Change in the sense of, like, you're going to manifest something that's going to be great. You're going to create something that's going to change your whole entire life. Manifest something that's going to change your whole entire life. Your whole entire being is going to change based on one situation and one choice that you are going to make. And it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. I'm not getting any negativity from this. Of course, things can be negative. Sometimes at first you think, oh, this is really negative. I don't like it. And then you realize, oh, I needed this. I'm glad I had this. This is more positive. This is more great. So it's very much so going to be one of those kind of situations where change is happening. It's not scary. It's a good change. It's happening, and it's going to be nice and positive and amazing. That is for the fire signs. The Draconic Elf. You can also follow me on Twitter. I do week ahead readings for the Zodiac Signs. I'm also probably going to start doing a little more themed readings on here, like I said earlier. So be sure to subscribe and like the video if you are happy with this at all, or not happy. Like, if it resonated in some way, or if it didn't resonate in some way, like, let me know in the comments. Be nice, obviously. But, you know, do the YouTube things.